Range is for operators, not rehab patients. 6 o'clock in the morning at Camp Pendleton's outdoor rifle range. Fog rolls in from the Pacific, thick enough to taste salt. 12 Navy SEALs stand in formation along the firing line, rifles slung, waiting for qualification to start. The range stretches 600 yards into scrub hills. Targets wait like sentinels in the mist. Captain Derek Vaughn stands at the head of the line, arms crossed, jaw set. He watches someone approach from the access road. Harper Wells limps across the gravel, left knee locked in a black brace. Right shoulder stiff, held slightly forward like the joint doesn't rotate all the way anymore. She wears standard base PT gear, gray shirt, black shorts, but the way she moves tells a story. Each step deliberate, weight shifting to compensate. No wincing, no complaint, just forward motion. Vaughn steps into her path, 6'2", buzzed hair, the kind of confidence that comes from never being told no. He spreads his stance, blocking the lane entrance. The SEALs behind him watch. A few smirk. One elbows his buddy. "You lost, Sergeant?" Vaughn's tone drips courtesy, but his eyes are flat. Medical patients use the rehab pool. Range 9 is for active shooters. Harper stops 3 feet away, doesn't look up, doesn't answer. She adjusts the strap of the rifle case on her good shoulder, then steps around him. Smooth. No acknowledgement. Like he's furniture. Vaughn's jaw tightens. Someone behind him snickers. He pivots, watches her continue toward lane 9, the farthest position from the observation tower, where the wind kicks hardest and the sun hits last. The reject lane, where recruits who can't hack it get sent to waste ammo in private. "Bet she can't even shoulder the rifle," Lieutenant Josh Carver mutters from the second row. He's younger than Vaughn by 5 years, sharper around the edges, always performing for an audience. A few SEALs chuckle. Harper reaches lane 9, sets the rifle case on the bench. The case makes no sound when it touches down. Not a thump, not a scrape, just contact. Master Chief Garrett Stone leans forward in the observation tower, 70 years old with eyes that have seen 3 wars. He's supposed to be logging scores. Instead, he's watching her hands. She unzips the case. Inside, a MK-13 Mod 7 sniper rifle, matte black, polymer stock, Schmidt and Bender scope. She lifts it out with her right hand, supports the weight with her left forearm, not her palm. Textbook carry for someone with nerve damage, but the transition is too smooth. No fumbling, no adjustment. Muscle memory older than the injury. Stone narrows his eyes. Harper sets the rifle on the bench, pulls a small notebook from her pocket, flips it open. The pages are filled with pencil marks, wind speed, temperature, elevation notes. But the notation is backwards, right to left, operational shorthand. The kind used in field reports when you need to write fast and can't risk anyone reading over your shoulder. She glances at the range flag, 12 miles per hour wind, gusting left, 9 degrees off center. She doesn't write anything down, just closes the notebook, slips it back in her pocket. Vaughn walks down the line, stopping at lane 8, right next to hers. He sets his own rifle on the bench, louder than necessary. Metal clangs against wood. He looks over, makes sure she's watching. "Medical discharge papers came through last week," he says, voice loud enough to carry. 40% disability rating, spinal fracture, nerve damage, lower back instability. He pauses, lets it sink in. "You're done, Sergeant. This is just paperwork." Harper unrolls a shooting mat, smooths it flat, kneels, slower than she probably wants to, favoring the braced leg. She positions herself behind the rifle, cheek to stock, eye to scope, breathing controlled. 4 counts in, 4 counts hold, 4 counts out, 4 counts hold. Stone scribbles a note on his pad. 4-count pattern, combat breathing. Range Officer Wade steps up to the tower microphone. Mid-40s, former Marine, takes rules seriously. "All lanes, listen up. New inventory protocol as of 0600 yesterday. All optical equipment must match DED registry serial numbers, no exceptions. We've had issues with unauthorized gear making it onto the range. If your scope doesn't scan, you don't shoot." A few groans. Someone mutters about bureaucracy. Wade doesn't care. He's already moving down the line with a handheld scanner, checking each rifle's optics against the database. Carver leans toward the SEAL next to him. "Think she even knows how to zero a scope? Probably has her boyfriend do it," the other SEAL replies. Laughter ripples. Quiet. Just enough to carry. Harper adjusts her scope. No tools. Just fingertip pressure on the turret knobs. Elevation up 2 clicks. Windage left 1.5. She doesn't check the numbers, doesn't verify, just sets it and moves on, pulling the bolt back to check the chamber. Empty, clean. She slides a magazine into the well. 10 rounds, match-grade ammunition. Wade reaches lane 9. He crouches next to Harper, scanner in hand. "Morning, Sergeant. Need to check your optics." She nods, doesn't speak, shifts back so he can access the scope. Wade scans the serial number etched into the scope's mounting rail. The scanner beeps, red light. He frowns, scans again, same result. He checks his tablet. "This serial doesn't match any DoD registry. Where'd you get this scope?" Harper reaches into her pocket, pulls out a folded piece of paper, hands it to him. Wade unfolds it, reads. It's a standard equipment checkout form, signed and dated 3 months ago, but the issuing unit line is redacted. Black ink, thick enough that no light shows through. He looks up. "This doesn't tell me anything. I need to see the source." She taps the redaction with one finger, then points at herself. Wade's frown deepens. "You're telling me this is classified issue?" Harper nods once. He stands, looks toward the tower. Stone is already watching. Wade makes a hand signal, "Need guidance." Stone picks up his radio, murmurs something too quiet for anyone else to hear. Then he waves Wade off. "Let it go." Wade exhales, looks back at Harper. "You get one chance. Malfunction, misfire, anything that looks off, you're done. Clear?" She nods again. He walks away, muttering about red tape. Vaughn watched the whole exchange. Now he's grinning. "Classified issue, right. Probably bought that at a gun show and forged the paperwork." Carver laughs. "Or her boyfriend did." Harper finishes her pre-shoot check. She runs her hand along the rifle's barrel, not stroking it, just checking for heat warping, dirt, anything that might throw the shot. Her fingers move with the kind of certainty that comes from doing the same task 1,000 times in a dozen different countries. Stone sees it. He writes another note. Inspection protocol, not civilian. The fog starts to lift. Sunlight breaks through in angled shafts, turning the range gold and gray. Targets become visible. 12 steel plates, man-sized, arranged in a line at 600 yards. Behind them, another row at 800 yards. Bonus targets. Only 5 shooters out of 100 ever bother with those. Wade's voice crackles over the PA. "All shooters, the range is now hot. You have 60 seconds to acquire your target and fire when ready. Scoring is pass-fail. 8 out of 10 hits to pass. Begin." 11 rifles bark in near unison. Brass casings fly. The sound is a rolling thunder, each shot blending into the next. Smoke drifts. The smell of gunpowder thickens the air. Harper doesn't fire. She's watching the wind. The flag snaps left, then right, then settles into a steady pull. 12 miles per hour, consistent now. She adjusts her aim. Not the scope, just her body position. Hips shift 3 inches right, shoulder settles deeper into the stock. She breathes. 4 counts in. Vaughn glances over. "Clock's ticking, Sergeant." Harper exhales. 4 counts out. Squeezes the trigger. The rifle cracks. Recoil punches her shoulder. She doesn't flinch. The target rings, a metallic clang that cuts through the ambient noise. Center mass hit. She works the bolt. Smooth. Brass ejects. New round chambers. She fires again. Another hit. Then a third. The rhythm is metronomic. Bolt, breathe, fire. Bolt, breathe, fire. Stone stops writing. He's just watching now. 10 shots. 10 hits. The targets ring like bells. Wade checks his monitor, which shows impact sensors on each plate. He keys the radio. "Lane 9, all hits confirmed. Pass with perfect score." Silence drops over the line. 11 SEALs stop shooting. They turn, stare at lane 9. Harper stands, slower than she'd like, knee brace creaking. She engages the rifle's safety, sets it on the bench, rolls up her mat. No celebration, no acknowledgement, just task complete. Carver breaks the silence. "Lucky wind." 10 out of 10 isn't luck, someone else mutters. Vaughn's face hardens. He turns back to his own target, fires 3 rapid shots, 2 hits, 1 miss. He swears under his breath. Stone descends the tower ladder, slow, methodical. When he reaches the bottom, he walks the length of the firing line. Doesn't stop at any lane, just observes. When he passes lane 9, he pauses for half a second, looks at Harper's rifle, at her hands, at the way she's standing, weight balanced despite the brace, spine straight despite the instability Vaughn mentioned. He keeps walking. Says nothing, but he's seen enough. If you've ever been underestimated, hit that subscribe button, because what happens next will remind you why silence is the deadliest weapon. And if you wanted to support more stories like this, the thanks button helps us keep going. The range empties over the next 20 minutes. SEALs pack their gear, load into trucks, head back to the barracks for chow. Vaughn lingers, so does Carver. They stand near lane 8, pretending to clean rifles but really watching Harper. She's wrapping her knee brace tighter. The Velcro rasps. Underneath, for just a moment, there's a flash of scar tissue. Old burn. Thick. Runs from mid-thigh to just below the kneecap. She adjusts the brace, covers it again. Carver pulls out his phone, angles it, snaps a photo. Harper limping toward the access road, rifle case over one shoulder, favoring her left side. He grins, taps the screen a few times. Vaughn leans over. Send that to the group chat. Carver's thumbs fly. 3 seconds later, the photo posts to SEAL Team 7's internal message board. Caption, Wounded Warrior mascot reporting for duty. Within a minute, 3 other SEALs react with laughing emojis. One comments, diversity hire. Another, she must have pictures of someone important. Vaughn pockets his phone. Let's see how long she lasts when the real tests start. Harper reaches the access road, stops, turns back, looks at the range. Not at Vaughn, not at Carver, at the targets. 600 yards away, all 12 still standing. She studies them for a moment, then she adjusts the rifle case strap and keeps walking. Stone watches from the tower window. He's holding a file folder. Old, edges frayed, classified stamp across the front. He flips it open. Inside, a photo. Harper Wells, 5 years younger, standing in desert gear, rifle in hand, 3 other operators around her. The photo is labeled Syria, 2019. Her face is the same, but in the picture, she's smiling. He closes the folder, slides it into his desk drawer, locks it. 3 hours later, the base mess hall is packed. Lunch rush, 200 sailors, Marines, and SEALs crammed into rows of tables. The noise is a constant hum, silverware clanking, conversations overlapping, chairs scraping tile. Harper sits alone at a corner table, tray in front of her, grilled chicken, rice, steamed vegetables. She eats methodically, cuts the chicken into small pieces, chews slowly, doesn't look around. Carver enters with 5 other SEALs. They grab trays, load them with food, scan the room. Carver spots Harper, grins. He says something to the group. They all look. A few laugh. They sit 3 tables away, close enough to be noticed, far enough to pretend it's coincidence. Carver pulls out his phone again, opens the group chat, reads the comments on his earlier photo. 23 replies now, most of them mocking. A few cautious, maybe she's actually good, but those get drowned out fast. He types a new message. At the DFAC, she's sitting alone. Wonder if she needs help cutting her food. More laughter emojis. One SEAL types back. Ask her if she needs a wheelchair to get back to her lane. Carver stands, walks over to the beverage station. It's right next to Harper's table. He fills a cup with water, takes his time, looks down at her tray. Need help with that, Sergeant? His tone is light, friendly, but the edge is there. Harper keeps chewing, doesn't look up. Carver leans on the counter. I mean, if your hands are too messed up to shoot straight, maybe cutting chicken is tough too. She sets her fork down, wipes her mouth with a napkin. Still doesn't look at him, just picks up her tray, stands, and walks to the trash, dumps the half-finished meal, stacks the tray, leaves. Carver watches her go, shakes his head, returns to his table. Ice cold, literally didn't even acknowledge me. Maybe she's deaf, someone suggests. Or smart enough not to engage, another adds. Vaughn arrives late, grabs a tray, spots the group. Sits down. What did I miss? Carver hands him the phone, shows him the group chat. Vaughn scrolls, smirks. This is good. Keep it going. I want her so uncomfortable she requests a transfer by the end of the week. Why? One of the younger SEALs asks. She passed the range qual. Perfect score. Vaughn's smirk fades. Because she doesn't belong here. This isn't a pity program. We don't carry dead weight. He leans forward. And I'm not about to let some washed-up sergeant ruin our team's reputation because Brass wanted to check a diversity box. The younger SEAL hesitates, then nods. Understood, sir. Carver pockets his phone. So, what's next? Vaughn thinks. She's on the roster for the obstacle course tomorrow, 0700. Let's make sure she gets the full experience. That evening, the base gym is half empty. A few Marines on the weight benches, 2 sailors on treadmills. Harper is in the corner, working through a physical therapy routine. Resistance bands, leg lifts, controlled stretches. Her knee brace is off. The scar is fully visible now, raised, mottled, running the length of her thigh. She loops a band around her ankle, pulls. The muscle flexes. She holds for 10 seconds, releases, repeats. Her face shows nothing. No pain, no frustration, just focus. Stone enters the gym. He's in civilian clothes, polo shirt, khakis. He walks to the water fountain, fills a bottle, glances at Harper. She doesn't notice him, or pretends not to. He walks closer, stops 10 feet away, watches her finish a set. "You're compensating," he says, voice low, calm. Harper pauses, looks up. Stone nods at her leg. Left leg is doing 60% of the work. Right leg is barely engaging. "You're not rehabbing, you're maintaining." She holds his gaze, doesn't respond. "I've seen that before," Stone continues. "Operators who get hurt bad enough that the brass wants to retire them. But the operator isn't ready to be done, so they maintain. Keep the body functional enough to pass medical reviews, but not so functional that anyone asks why they're not already back in the field." Harper stands, slowly, loops the resistance band around the pole. "You're mistaken, Master Chief." It's the first time she's spoken more than a word. Her voice is quiet, no accent, no inflection, just information. Stone smiles, faint. "Maybe, but I've been doing this job since before you were born, Sergeant. I know what maintenance looks like, and I know what preparation looks like." He taps the side of his head. "Question is, what are you preparing for?" Harper picks up her towel, wipes her hands. "Physical therapy, same as everyone else here?" "Sure." Stone caps his water bottle. "But everyone else here isn't shooting perfect scores with classified optics and 4-count breathing." She stiffens, just for a moment. Then it's gone. Stone turns to leave, stops. "One more thing. That burn scar, I've seen those before too. IED blast, close range, the kind where you're pulling someone out of a vehicle and the secondary charge goes off." He looks back at her. "You didn't get that falling off a ladder." Harper says nothing. Stone nods. "Have a good evening, Sergeant." He walks out. She stands there for 10 seconds. Then she finishes packing her gym bag, slips the knee brace back on, and leaves. The next morning, 0700, the obstacle course sprawls across 2 acres of dirt and steel. Rope climbs, wall scrambles, monkey bars, tire flips, a mud pit, a cargo net. At the end, a bell. Ring it, you pass. Fail to ring it in under 12 minutes, you run the whole thing again. 24 candidates line up at the start. Harper is 18th in line. Vaughn stands at the finish line with a stopwatch. Carver is at the halfway point, clipboard in hand, marking times. The first candidate goes, makes it in 10 minutes, 40 seconds. Good time. The second goes, 11 minutes, 15 seconds. Acceptable. Harper's turn comes. She steps to the start line. Vaughn sees her, smiles. "Morning, Sergeant. Hope that knee holds up." She doesn't respond, just waits for the whistle. It blows. She runs, not fast, but steady. Hits the first obstacle, rope climb, 20 feet. She grips the rope with both hands, pulls herself up. The brace doesn't slow her. She climbs hand over hand, legs assisting, but not leading. Reaches the top, rings the bell, descends. Second obstacle, wall scramble, 8-foot vertical wall. She jumps, catches the top edge with her fingertips, pulls. Her right shoulder strains, visible even through the shirt, but she gets over, drops to the other side. Carver checks his watch. 30 seconds behind pace. She keeps moving. Third obstacle, monkey bars. 30 feet across, metal rungs spaced 3 feet apart. She jumps, catches the first rung, swings, catches the second, third, fourth. Her grip is precise, thumb over, not under. Tactical grip, the kind you use when you can't afford to slip because there's no safety net. Stone watches from the sideline. He's holding a clipboard, but not writing anything, just observing. Harper reaches the halfway point. Carver stands there, blocking the path. "You're running out of time, Sergeant. Maybe you should skip a few obstacles. We won't tell." She sidesteps him, keeps going. Fourth obstacle, tire flips. 6 tractor tires, each weighing 200 pounds. Flip them end over end across a 20-foot stretch. She grips the first tire, heaves, it flips, lands with a heavy thud. She moves to the next, flips it, then the next. Her breathing stays controlled. 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Carver mutters into his radio, "She's still moving, 7 minutes in." Vaughn's voice crackles back. "Let her finish. I want to see how she handles the mud pit." 5th obstacle, the mud pit. 30 feet long, chest-deep water mixed with clay and gravel. Barbed wire strung 2 feet above the surface. Candidates have to crawl through. No standing, no rushing. Harper drops into the pit. The water is cold, 50 degrees. She goes under, starts crawling, elbows dig into the mud, knees scrape rocks. The barbed wire catches her shirt, tears a small hole. She keeps going, doesn't stop, doesn't slow. She emerges on the other side, covered in mud, breathing hard but not gasping. She climbs out, runs toward the final obstacle, the cargo net, 40 feet tall, rope mesh, sways in the wind. She starts climbing, hand over hand, foot by foot. Halfway up, the wind gusts. The net swings. She holds on, waits for it to steady, keeps climbing. Vaughn checks his watch. 11 minutes, 30 seconds. She's not going to make it. Harper reaches the top, rings the bell, starts descending. She hits the ground, sprints the final 50 yards to the finish line, crosses it. Vaughn clicks the stopwatch. 11 minutes, 58 seconds. He looks up. 2 seconds to spare. "Congratulations, Sergeant. You barely passed." She bends over, hands on knees, catching her breath. Mud drips off her clothes. Carver walks over. Not bad, for someone who probably should have quit halfway through. Stone approaches from the sideline. "Candidate Wells, report to medical. Protocol after any course completion where mud pit is involved." Harper nods, straightens, walks toward the medical tent. Vaughn watches her go, turns to Carver. "She won't make it through the next one." "Next one?" Carver asks. Vaughn grins. "Advanced marksmanship qual, day after tomorrow, moving targets, variable wind, and I'm going to make sure her rifle has a few issues." That night, Harper returns to her quarters, a small room in the transient barracks. Single bed, desk, locker. She drops her gear bag on the floor, sits on the edge of the bed, pulls off the knee brace, massages the joint. The skin underneath is red, irritated. She opens her locker. Inside, a locked case. She enters the combination, opens it. Inside, a second set of dog tags, not the standard issue she wears. These are different. The metal is darker, the engraving is smaller, and on the reverse side, a QR code, tiny, barely visible unless you were looking for it. She holds them for a moment, then puts them back, closes the case, locks it. Her phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. Phase 1 complete, maintain cover. She deletes the message, sets the phone on the desk, lies back on the bed, stares at the ceiling. Tomorrow is the forum post. The day after is the rifle qual. Then the reveal. She's counting down. The following morning, an anonymous post appears on the base's internal forum. It's in the General Discussion section, posted at 0400. The username is a string of random numbers. The post reads, "Harper Wells, medical discharge 2024, lower back instability, nerve damage, 40% disability rating. Why is she on an active shooting range? Why is she running obstacle courses? And why is she using classified marked equipment? Something doesn't add up. Either she's lying about her condition or someone's giving her special treatment. Either way, it's not fair to the rest of us who earned our spots." By 0600, the post has 83 views. 12 comments, most agreeing, a few questioning the source. One comment, "I saw her at the range, perfect score. That's not someone who can't operate." Another, "Or she's gaming the system, claiming disability benefits while still performing." A third, "We should report this to the CO." Vaughn reads the post over breakfast, smiles. He didn't write it, but he knows who did, one of Carver's buddies, plausible deniability. He forwards the link to 3 other officers, no message, just the link. By 0800, the post has 200 views. Harper sees it at 0830. She's in the base library, using one of the public computers to check her email. Someone left the forum page open on the browser. She reads the post, scrolls through the comments. Her expression doesn't change. She closes the browser, logs out, leaves. Stone sees it at 0900. He's in his office reviewing training schedules. Someone forwarded him the link with a note. "Thought you should see this." He reads it twice. Then he pulls out the classified folder from his locked drawer, opens it, looks at Harper's photo again, reads the file summary. Subject, Wells, Harper E. Rank, Sergeant, E5. Unit, redacted. Specialty, redacted. Status, active. Clearance, TS, SCI. He closes the folder, picks up his phone, dials a number. It rings 4 times. A voice answers. "This is Stone. I need to talk to someone about Operation Byzantine." The voice on the other end pauses. "What about it? Is Wells still on mission, or did someone actually discharge her?" Another pause. "She's on mission? Why?" Stone looks at his computer screen. The forum post is still open. "Because someone just tried to burn her cover on a public forum." "Handle it," the voice says. Then the line goes dead. Stone leans back in his chair, exhales, picks up his radio. "Range Officer Wade, report to my office." 2 days later, advanced marksmanship qualification. The range is busier now, 40 candidates, 15 lanes. Moving targets at variable distances, 400, 600, 800 yards. Wind gusting between 8 and 15 miles per hour. Difficulty is cranked up. Harper arrives at 0545. 15 minutes early, she signs in with Wade. He hands her a lane assignment card. Lane 12, middle of the pack. She walks to her lane, sets down her rifle case, unzips it. Wade follows her. "Need to check your optics again, Sergeant. New protocol." She nods, steps aside. Wade scans the scope. This time, it beeps green. He frowns, checks his tablet. The serial number matches a CIA Special Operations Inventory listing. Not DOD, CIA. He looks at Harper. She's adjusting her ear protection. Doesn't meet his eyes. Wade keys his radio, low voice. "Master Chief, we've got a problem." Stone's voice crackles back. "What kind?" Her scope matches a CIA SOG inventory, not ours. Silence. Then, "Let her shoot." Wade hesitates. "Sir, protocol says..." "Let her shoot," Stone repeats. "I'll handle it." Wade lowers the radio, nods at Harper. "You're clear, for now." She picks up her rifle, moves to the firing line. Vaughn is 3 lanes down. Lane 9. He's watching her. When she's not looking, he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a small Allen wrench, walks past her lane, accidentally bumps her rifle case with his boot. The case shifts. Harper doesn't notice. She's studying the wind again. Vaughn keeps walking. But when he passed her case, he flicked the wrench toward her equipment bag. It lands inside, silently. 30 minutes later, all shooters are on the line. Wade's voice booms over the PA. "Shooters, you have 10 rounds, 3 target sets, 400, 600, and 800 yards. Targets will move laterally at 5 miles per hour. You have 90 seconds per target set. Range is hot. Begin." Rifles erupt. The sound is deafening. Brass flies. Smoke thickens. Targets swing on motorized tracks. Man-sized steel plates sliding left, then right. Harper fires her first shot. Hit. 400 yards. Moving target. She works the bolt. Fires again. Hit. Third shot. Hit. Vaughn fires. Miss. He swears. Adjusts. Fires again. Hit. Harper moves to the 600-yard target. Fires. Hit. Fires again. Hit. She chambers the 4th round. Pulls the trigger. Nothing. The firing pin drops, but the round doesn't fire. She immediately taps the base of the magazine. Racks the bolt. A live round ejects. She chambers the next one. Aims. Fires. Click. Another dud. Her face stays calm. She racks the bolt again. Chambers the 5th round. Fires. Click. 3 misfires in a row. Vaughn glances over. Sees her working the bolt repeatedly. Grins. Wade notices. He keys his radio. "Lane 12. Ceasefire. Malfunction protocol." Harper lowers her rifle. Engages the safety. Steps back from the line. Wade walks over. "What's the issue?" She hands him the rifle. Points at the chamber. He inspects it. Sees the unfired rounds. Frowns. "Dud ammunition?" He pulls the magazine. Checks the rounds. They look fine. He cycles the bolt manually. The firing pin strikes with a metallic click, but it's off-center, by maybe 2 millimeters. He looks closer. The firing pin housing is loose. Someone tampered with it. Wade looks at Harper, then at Vaughn's lane, then back at Harper. "Did you perform a function check this morning?" he asks. She shakes her head. "Then you're disqualified," Wade says, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Failure to perform pre-shoot inspection, safety violation, Murmurs ripple through the line. A few shooters glance over. Carver smirks. Harper takes the rifle back, says nothing, starts disassembling it on the bench. Stone descends from the tower, fast. For a 70-year-old man, he moves quick. He reaches lane 12, looks at the rifle, then at Wade. "What happened?" Wade explains, points at the firing pin housing. Stone picks up the rifle, examines it, sees the loosened housing, sees the Allen wrench in Harper's equipment bag. It wasn't there when she arrived. He watched her set up. He looks at Vaughn's lane. Vaughn is facing downrange, shooting, not looking over. Stone hands the rifle back to Harper. "You have 10 minutes to fix it, then you're back on the line." Wade blinks. "Master Chief, the protocol—" "I'm overriding the protocol," Stone says. Flat. No room for argument. "This wasn't user error. This was sabotage, and I'm going to find out who." What would you do if your own brothers in arms turned on you? Drop your answer below, and don't forget to like if you think she's about to prove them all wrong. Harper kneels, opens her toolkit, pulls out a torque wrench, tightens the firing pin housing, cycles the bolt, tests the strike, dry fires twice, satisfied. She stands, reloads the magazine, steps back to the line. Wade looks at Stone. Stone nods. Wade keys the PA. "Lane 12, you are clear to resume. Special authorization. 60 seconds on the clock. 800-yard targets only. Begin." Harper shoulders the rifle. The moving target is at 800 yards now. Wind has picked up to 15 miles per hour, gusting. The target slides left. She breathes. 4 counts in, holds. 4 counts out, fires. The target rings, hit. She works the bolt. Smooth, fast. Fires again. Hit. Third shot. Hit. Vaughn stops shooting, turns, watches. Harper fires a 4th time. Hit. 5th. Hit. She's on the 800-yard moving targets. 5 for 5. The crowd of shooters is silent now. Everyone's watching. She chambers the 6th round. The bolt slides forward, locks. She aims, breathes, squeezes. The trigger clicks, but this time the click is wrong, not a misfire, a jam. The bolt didn't fully seat. The extractor is caught on the rim of the casing. Harper's hand moves to the bolt handle. She starts to pull it back. It doesn't move. The bolt is stuck. She tries again, pulls harder. The metal creaks, but it's locked. The extractor is jammed against the chamber. Vaughn's grin widens. Stone leans forward in the tower. Harper's face shows nothing. She doesn't panic, doesn't call for help. She just stares at the bolt handle. Then, slowly she reaches for her toolkit again. The PA crackles. "Lane 12, your time is up. Qualification incomplete. Step back from the line." Harper doesn't move. Her hand hovers over the bolt, frozen. The camera zooms in, tight on her hand, on the jammed bolt, on the rifle that won't fire. Fade to black. Harper's hand stays on the jammed bolt. 40 shooters watch. The PA announcement still echoes. Qualification incomplete, but she doesn't step back. Her fingers move to her toolkit. She pulls out a brass punch, thin, 6 inches long, slides it into the ejection port, taps the extractor claw with the flat of her palm. Once, twice. The metal shifts. She rotates the punch 15 degrees, taps again. The bolt releases. She pulls it back. The jammed casing ejects, tumbles through the air, lands in the dirt. She chambers a fresh round. The bolt slides home, clean, locked. 4 seconds total. Wade's voice cracks over the PA. "Lane 12, you are out of..." Stone cuts him off, grabs the microphone. "Belay that. Lane 12, you have 30 seconds. Bonus targets only, 800 yards. Wind is 16 miles per hour. Begin." Harper doesn't hesitate. She shoulders the rifle. The 800-yard bonus targets are smaller, 12 inches wide instead of 18. They're moving faster now. 7 miles per hour lateral. She tracks the first target, leads it by 3 feet, breathes out, fires. The target rings, dead center. She works the bolt. Brass ejects in a golden arc. She chambers the next round, aims, fires. Another hit, 3rd shot. The wind gusts. The flag snaps hard left. She adjusts, not the scope, just her aim point. Shifts 4 feet left. Fires. Hit. Vaughn's jaw drops. 4th shot. 5th. 6th. Every target rings. The sound echoes across the range like a drum beat. She fires the 7th round. The rifle's report is sharp, clean. The target, 800 yards out, moving right at 7 miles per hour in a 16-mile-per-hour crosswind. Rings before the sound even fades. 8th shot. hit, ninth, hit. She chambers the 10th round. The last target is at the far edge of the range, 850 yards. Moving. The wind shifts again, drops to 12 miles per hour, then spikes to 18. She waits, doesn't fire, just tracks the target, waiting for the wind to settle. 3 seconds. 4. 5. The wind drops to 15. Steady. She fires. The target rings. Silence drops over the range like a curtain. Nobody moves. Nobody speaks. Wade checks his monitor. All 10 bonus targets show impact sensors activated. He looks at Stone. Stone nods. Wade keys the PA. Lane 12, 10 for 10. Bonus round complete. Perfect score under equipment malfunction conditions. His voice is quiet, almost reverent. Harper engages the safety, sets the rifle on the bench, stands. Her knee brace creaks. She rolls her shoulders, once, twice, then starts packing her gear. Carver stares. That's impossible. Nobody shoots perfect on bonus targets, especially not with a jammed rifle. The SEAL next to him says nothing, just watches Harper zip her rifle case. Vaughn's face is stone. He turns back to his own lane, starts packing. Fast. Jerky movements. Stone descends the tower again. This time he walks directly to lane 12, stops 3 feet from Harper. Sergeant Wells, I need to see your identification. She looks up, doesn't speak, just reaches into her pocket, pulls out her standard military ID card, hands it to him. Stone examines it, flips it over. Regulation issue, nothing unusual. He hands it back. Not that ID, your dog tags. Harper's hand moves to her neck. She's wearing 2 chains, one visible, standard issue tags, the other tucked inside her shirt. She pulls the second chain out slowly. The tags are darker metal, smaller. The engraving is almost microscopic. Stone reaches for them. She doesn't stop him. He holds them up to the light, reads the front. Wells, Harper E. TS, SCI cleared. He flips them over. On the reverse, a QR code, 1/4-inch square, laser etched into the metal. Wade approaches, sees the QR code. What the? Stone pulls out his phone, opens the scanner app, he holds it over the tags. The phone beeps. A screen loads. Black background, white text. Special Activities Division. Special Operations Group, status. Active classification level, top secret. Sensitive compartmented information, verification code. Byzantine 77 Tango. Authentication, valid. Wade's face goes pale. That's CIA. Stone doesn't respond. He just stares at the screen. Then he looks at Harper. Really looks at her. The limp, the brace, the burn scar. The way she cleared a malfunction in 4 seconds. The way she shot perfect scores on targets that 90% of active SEALs couldn't hit. He steps back, comes to attention, salutes. Harper's expression doesn't change. She doesn't return the salute, just takes the tags back, tucks them inside her shirt. Wade stammers, Master Chief, why is a CIA operator on our range? I don't know, Stone says, but I'm about to find out. He keys his radio. Colonel Mercer, I need you at the range, now. We have a situation. 3 minutes later, Colonel James Mercer arrives in a Humvee. He's 52, career Marine, 3 deployments, 0 patience for irregularities. He climbs out, sees the gathered shooters, sees Stone standing next to Harper. Master Chief, this better be good. Stone hands him the phone, shows him the screen. Mercer reads it. His eyebrows rise. He looks at Harper, then at Vaughn, who's trying very hard to blend into the background. Sergeant Wells, Mercer says. Explain. Harper shakes her head. I can't, sir. Can't or won't. Can't. Operational security. Mercer's jaw tightens. He looks at Stone. Did you scan these tags? Yes, sir. And they authenticated? Yes, sir. Mercer turns to Wade. Pull up her rifle's scope serial again. Wade opens his tablet, pulls up the scan from earlier, shows Mercer. Mercer reads it. This is CIA Special Operations Inventory, not DOD. He looks at Harper. You're not supposed to be here, are you? Harper doesn't answer. Then why are you? A new voice cuts in from behind them. Because I asked her to be. Everyone turns. A woman in civilian clothes walks across the range. Mid-40s, dark hair, sharp eyes. She's wearing slacks and a blazer, no uniform. But she moves like military. She reaches the group, pulls them out a badge, flips it open. Special Agent Kara Kim, NCIS. And before anyone asks, yes, I've been watching this entire qualification from the observation tower. Mercer's face darkens. NCIS? What the hell is going on? Kim pockets the badge. What's going on, Colonel, is that your base has a leak. Someone in SEAL Command has been accessing classified mission briefs without authorization and selling them to private contractors. The crowd of shooters shifts. Murmurs start. Kim continues. 6 months ago, we flagged 47 unauthorized accesses to top-secret sensitive compartmented information files, all originating from this base, all tied to SEAL Team 7. Vaughn's face goes white. Kim looks directly at him. Captain Vaughn, every time you access those files, you left a digital fingerprint. We've been tracking you since March. Vaughn takes a step back. This is ridiculous. I'm the commanding officer. I have clearance. You have clearance for your own team's briefs, Kim interrupts. Not for briefs from other SEAL teams, not for CIA joint operations, not for Special Activities Division mission summaries. She pulls out a tablet, swipes through screens. February 14th, you accessed a brief for SEAL Team 3's operation in Yemen. Why? Vaughn doesn't answer. March 9th, you accessed a SAD operation file labeled Crossbow. That operation doesn't even officially exist. How did you know to look for it? Silence. Kim turns to the crowd. Captain Vaughn has been selling intelligence to a private military contractor called Sentinel Solutions. They've been using classified U.S. mission data to undercut government bids and position their own teams in conflict zones. 3 operators died last year in Syria because Sentinel knew our routes and set up their own convoy in the same area. Guess who tipped them off? Gasps. A few SEALs step away from Vaughn. Kim looks at Harper. Sergeant Harper Wells was never medically discharged. She volunteered to go undercover, to become the kind of target that someone like Vaughn couldn't resist. Mercer's eyes narrow. You used her as bait. We used her as an operator, Kim corrects. She's one of the best we have. And she knew that if she pretended to be broken, Vaughn would feel safe enough to continue his pattern. Vaughn shakes his head. You can't prove any of this. It's all circumstantial. Kim pulls out a second tablet. Every insult, every obstacle, every time you tried to force her off this base, you got sloppy. She swipes through images. You posted about her on the internal forum. You had Lieutenant Carver spread photos on the group chat. You tried to confiscate her rifle, which, by the way, is a honeypot asset. The scope's serial number is flagged in the system. Anyone who searches for it without proper authorization gets logged. She shows the screen to Mercer. Guess who searched for it 4 times yesterday? Mercer looks at Vaughn. Captain? Vaughn's mouth opens, closes, no words come. Kim continues. But the real evidence, the real nail in the coffin? She looks at Wade. Range officer, when you inspected Sergeant Wells's rifle this morning and found the firing pin housing tampered with, you filed an incident report, correct? Wade nods. Yes, ma'am. And where did you file it? Into the base digital system, standard protocol. Kim smiles. And guess who accessed that report 16 minutes after you filed it? Before even Colonel Mercer saw it? She turns the tablet around, shows the access log. Vaughn's name is at the top. Timestamp 0742. You couldn't help yourself, Kim says. You had to know if your sabotage worked. So you logged in. And that access, combined with the 47 prior accesses, the messages to Sentinel Solutions, and the testimony from 3 contractors who've already flipped on you, that's a pattern. That's intent. That's espionage. Vaughn lunges, not toward Kim, toward Harper. His hand goes for his sidearm. Harper moves. 1 step left. Her hand intercepts his wrist. She rotates it, outward, downward. A basic joint lock. Vaughn's grip opens. The sidearm falls. She kicks it away. Then she executes a minimal shoulder check redirect. He stumbles backward into the safety barrier. Freeze frame. She steps back. Mercer draws his own sidearm, points it at Vaughn. On the ground, now. Vaughn drops to his knees, hands behind his head. 2 Marines rush forward with zip ties. They secure his wrists, lift him to his feet. Kim walks over. Captain Derek Vaughn, you're under arrest for espionage, unauthorized disclosure of classified information, and obstruction of justice. You have the right to remain silent. She reads him the rest of his rights. Vaughn doesn't resist, just stares at the ground. Kim turns to Carver. Lieutenant, you posted Sergeant Wells' photo on the group chat with intent to harass. You also spread false information about her medical status. That's obstruction. You're coming with us. Carver's face drains. I didn't know. He told me to. Save it for the deposition, Kim says. Two more Marines step forward. Carver's hands go behind his back. Zip ties click. Stone watches the arrests. Then he looks at Harper. She's standing off to the side now, quiet, hands at her sides. He approaches. How long have you been active? 11 years, Harper says. Special Activities Division for the last 6. And the injury? The discharge? Injury's real. Compound fracture, burn from an IED in Syria, but I can still operate. She glances at her knee. Just hurts more than it used to. Stone nods. Why did you volunteer for this? Harper looks at Vaughn being loaded into the back of a Humvee. Because 3 operators died last year. Good people. And someone on our side gave them up. She meets Stone's eyes. I wanted to make sure it didn't happen again. By letting yourself be humiliated? By letting the guilty feel safe, Harper corrects. Bullies get sloppy when they think they've won. If this story gave you chills, smash that share button. Your friends need to see this. Part 2's payoff is just getting started, and trust me, the fallout is even bigger. Mercer steps between them, looks at Harper. Your cover's blown now. What happens next? Kim answers for her. She's cleared to return to SAD with full honors. Medical discharge is rescinded. She's active duty as of this morning. Harper shakes her head. I need 2 weeks. Physical therapy. My knee isn't back to full strength. Kim raises an eyebrow. You just shot a perfect score on 800-yard moving targets with a jammed rifle. Shooting I can do. Running 12 miles with a 60-pound ruck. Not yet. Kim considers, nods. 2 weeks. Then you report to Langley for reassignment. Mercer extends his hand. Harper shakes it. I owe you an apology, Sergeant. I should have seen what Vaughn was doing. You weren't supposed to see it, Harper says. That was the point. Stone shakes her hand next. For what it's worth, I knew something was off. Just couldn't figure out what. Harper almost smiles. You came closer than most, Master Chief. The crowd of shooters starts to disperse. Some head to their vehicles. Others linger, whispering. A few approach Harper. One SEAL, younger, maybe 25, stops in front of her. Sergeant, He hesitates. I'm sorry. I saw the forum post. I should have said something. Harper nods. You're saying something now? He swallows. Is there anything I can do? Yeah, she says. Next time you see someone getting targeted, don't wait. Speak up. He nods. Yes, ma'am. He walks away. Another SEAL approaches, older, grizzled. You were at Syria, 2019. That IED hit near Raqqa. Harper looks at him. You were there? On the rescue team. We pulled 2 Marines out of the wreckage. You'd already carried one out on your back. Climbed back in for the second when the secondary charge went off. He taps his chest. I put you in for a Silver Star. Got denied because the mission was classified. Harper's face softens. I remember you. You were the corpsman. Still am. He extends his hand. Thank you for what you did. Then and now. She shakes his hand. Just doing the job. He nods, walks away. Kim is on the phone, talking low. She hangs up, looks at Mercer. We need Vaughn's phone, now. He has a dead man switch. If he doesn't check in with Sentinel Solutions every 12 hours, his phone auto-wipes. We're at 11 hours, 43 minutes. Mercer curses. Where's his phone? Kim points to the Humvee. On him, but it's encrypted. Biometric lock. We need his thumbprint. Mercer walks to the Humvee, opens the door. Vaughn is sitting inside, zip-tied, staring straight ahead. Captain, where's your phone? Vaughn doesn't respond. Mercer leans in. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Your choice. Vaughn finally looks up. I want a lawyer. You'll get one, right after you unlock your phone. I don't have to do anything. Mercer steps back, looks at Kim. We've got 17 minutes. Kim pulls out her own phone, dials. I need a warrant for biometric unlock. Subject is in custody, national security threat, imminent data destruction. She listens. How long? She frowns. We don't have 30 minutes. Harper steps forward. Let me talk to him. Ursindu. Kim looks skeptical. He's not going to listen to you. Maybe not, but he might listen to someone else. Harper walks to the Humvee, leans in, looks at Carver, who's sitting across from Vaughn. Lieutenant, she says quietly, you posted my photo, you spread the rumors, but I don't think you knew what Vaughn was really doing. Carver stares at his boots. I didn't, I swear. Then prove it. He looks up. How? You and Vaughn message each other constantly. You've got his passcode written down somewhere, don't you? Carver hesitates, glances at Vaughn. Vaughn's glare could cut steel. Harper continues. 3 operators died last year. Good people. And more will die if that phone wipes. You can stop it. Carver's hands are zip-tied in front of him. He fumbles with his pocket, pulls out a small piece of paper, folded, torn from a notebook. He hands it to Harper. She unfolds it. 6 digits written in pen. 472819. Vaughn lunges at Carver. You traitorous. A Marine shoves Vaughn back. Sit down, Captain. Harper hands the paper to Kim. Try this. Kim takes it, pulls Vaughn's phone from an evidence bag. The screen is locked. She enters the code. The phone unlocks. Kim exhales. We're in. She scrolls through messages, contacts, files. Her face darkens. This is worse than we thought. He's got client lists, payment schedules, coordinates for active operations. She looks at Mercer. We need to lock down every mission mentioned in these files, immediately. Mercer nods, keys his radio. All units, this is Colonel Mercer. Security condition Delta. All active operations are suspended pending review. I repeat, all active operations suspended. Lock down the base. Nobody leaves without clearance. The range empties fast. Marines and SEALs jog toward their barracks. Vehicles start. Sirens wail in the distance. Harper watches the chaos unfold. Stone stands next to her. You just stopped a war. She shakes her head. I just stopped one traitor. The war is still out there. Stone glances at her knee. You gonna be okay? I'll heal. I meant emotionally. Harper looks at him. I've been shot at, blown up, and left for dead. Getting insulted by a guy who couldn't shoot straight if his life depended on it? That's the easy part. Stone chuckles. Fair enough. Kim approaches. Sergeant Wells, I need a full debrief. Can you come with me? Harper nods. She picks up her rifle case, follows Kim toward a waiting SUV. Stone watches her go. Then he turns to Wade. Pull the footage from this morning's qualification. Every angle. I want it archived. Wade frowns. Why? Because 10 years from now, some instructor is going to tell a story about the operator who cleared a malfunction in 4 seconds and shot perfect on bonus targets. And nobody's going to believe it unless they see the footage. Wade grins. Yes, Master Chief. 6 hours later, NCIS Field Office, Camp Pendleton. Harper sits in a small conference room. Kim is across the table, a laptop between them. The fluorescent lights hum overhead. Coffee grows cold in paper cups. Kim pulls up a file. Sentinel Solutions had 14 clients, all private military contractors, all bidding on U.S. government contracts. Vaughn gave them classified intel on U.S. force deployments, logistics routes, and mission objectives. They used that intel to undercut our bids and position their own teams. She shows Harper a spreadsheet, numbers in red, missions compromised, lives lost. $347 million in contracts lost over 2 years. And that's just what we can track. Harper studies the numbers. Her finger traces one line. Operation Sandstorm. Syria. 3 casualties. She knew 2 of them. What happens to the contractors? FBI's already moving. Raid started an hour ago. We'll recover some of the money, but the real damage, the operators who died, the missions compromised, that we can't fix. Kim's voice softens. We can only make sure it doesn't happen again. Harper leans back. The chair creaks. What about Vaughn? Court-martial. Espionage charges carry a minimum of 25 years. He'll die in Leavenworth. Kim closes the laptop. And Carver? Obstruction, conduct unbecoming, probably 5 years, dishonorable discharge. Harper nods. He helped in the end. Doesn't erase what he did before. Kim pauses, studies Harper's face. But it counts for something. The judge will see that. They sit in silence for a moment. Outside, boots march past. Commands echo. Life continues. Then Kim asks, How do you feel? Harper considers. Tired. That's it? What do you want me to say? That I'm angry? Hurt? She shakes her head. I knew what I was signing up for. I knew they'd treat me like garbage. That was the whole point. But it still happened, Kim says quietly. They still insulted you, harassed you, tried to break you. She leans forward. Nobody would blame you for being angry. Harper meets her eyes. They tried. They failed. She picks up the cold coffee, sets it down without drinking. Anger would have compromised the mission, so I buried it. And now? Now the mission's complete. Harper's voice is steady, final. Now I move on. Kim smiles. You know what Stone told me? He said you're the toughest operator he's seen in 30 years. And he's worked with SEALs, Force Recon, Delta, everyone. Stone's too kind. He's not known for being kind. Harper almost laughs. Fair point. Kim stands. You're cleared to go. 2 weeks recovery, then Langley. We'll have a new assignment waiting. Harper picks up her bag. What kind of assignment? Kim's smile widens. The kind you're good at. Going places you're not supposed to be. Doing things that don't officially happen. Sounds about right. They shake hands. Harper leaves. 3 days later, Harper's temporary quarters. She's sitting on the bed, laptop open. An encrypted message waits in her inbox. She opens it. Waypoint verified. Phase 2, Coronado. Target, Sentinel West Coast Ops. Insertion, 72 hours. Cover, civilian contractor, auditor, Byzantine. Below the message, a photo. A man in his 50s, suit and tie, smiling. The caption reads, Marcus Holt, VP Operations, Sentinel Solutions. Harper studies the photo, memorizes the face, the eyes, the smile that doesn't reach them. Then she looks at her knee brace hanging on the chair. She stands, tests the joint. It aches, but it holds. She closes the laptop, deletes the message. 72 hours, Coronado. Another mission. She smiles. The next morning, Stone finds her at the range. She's alone. Lane 12, running drills, 500-yard targets. No malfunction this time, just clean shots. The rhythm is meditation, breathe, fire, bolt, repeat. He watches her fire 10 rounds, 10 hits. The targets ring like church bells. When she finishes, he approaches. Heard you're leaving. 2 weeks, she confirms. She sets the rifle down carefully, engages the safety. Where to? Can't say. Stone nods. Figured. He hands her something, a small wooden box, polished walnut, military corners. Open it later. She takes it, feels the weight, quality craftsmanship. What is it? A reminder. He turns to leave, stops. You know, I told my grandson about you last night. Harper looks up. What did you say? Didn't use your name, just said the best operators are the ones you never see coming. He glances back. He asked if you were real. I told him yeah, and that one day, if he works hard enough, maybe he'll be half as good. Harper's throat tightens. I'm not that good, Master Chief. You cleared a malfunction in 4 seconds, shot perfect on moving targets, and took down a spy ring by letting yourself be insulted for 6 months. Stone smiles. You're better than good, Sergeant. You're patient. He walks away. His boots crunch gravel, fade into distance. Harper waits until he's gone. Then she opens the box. Inside, a challenge coin, worn, old. The edges are smooth from decades of handling. On one side, seal trident. On the other, engraved words, silent, deadly, unseen. She closes the box, slips it into her pocket, feels it rest against her chest. A weight that means something. That evening, the base barbecue area. Off-duty personnel gather. Grills smoke, music plays, laughter echoes. The smell of charcoal and lighter fluid hangs in the air. Harper sits at a picnic table, alone, watching. A paper plate in front of her, untouched burger, warm soda. A few SEALs approach, the younger one from the range, the corpsman who pulled her from Syria, a third she doesn't recognize. Mind if we sit? The younger one asks. His voice is uncertain, respectful. She gestures to the bench. They sit. Awkward silence. Someone coughs. Another shifts his weight. Finally, the corpsman speaks. We heard what you did, taking down Vaughn, going undercover. Harper nods. Just doing the job. It was more than that, the younger SEAL says. You let us treat you like dirt for months, and you never broke. He looks at his hands. I saw that forum post. I read the comments. I should have said something. You're saying something now, Harper replies. That matters. Does it? His voice cracks slightly. 3 guys died because of what Vaughn did, and we all just stood by. Harper's voice is firm. You didn't know. That's the difference between ignorance and malice. It was more than that, the younger SEAL says. You let us treat you like dirt for months, and you never broke. I've had worse, Harper says simply. The third SEAL, quiet until now, leans forward. My sister's in the army, gets harassed constantly. I never knew what to say to her. But after seeing you, he trails off. I called her this morning, told her about you. She cried, said it gave her hope. Harper's chest tightens. I'm glad. The words come out quieter than she intends. She asked if she could write you a letter, the SEAL continues. I told her I'd ask. Harper considers, nods. Tell her yes. Through official channels, Stone will know how to route it. They sit in silence. Then the younger SEAL raises his drink. To Sergeant Wells, the toughest operator we'll never see coming. They all raise their drinks. Harper lifts her water bottle. They clink, plastic against glass against aluminum. The corpsman grins. You know, Stone's already turned you into a legend. Cadets are going to hear about you for the next 50 years. Harper groans. That's the last thing I want. Too late, the third SEAL says. You're a ghost story now. The wounded operator who turned out to be a spy hunter. I'm not a ghost, Harper says. I'm just patient. They laugh. The tension breaks. The conversation shifts. Lighter topics. Deployment stories, bad food, worse officers. Someone tells a joke about a lieutenant and a compass. Laughter rises. Harper listens more than she talks. But she's smiling, really smiling, for the first time in months. 2 weeks pass. Harper's knee strengthens. The brace comes off. She runs 3 miles, then 5, then 8. The limp fades. The pain becomes manageable. Physical therapy becomes maintenance. Maintenance becomes preparation. On the last day, she packs her gear, the rifle case, the locked box with the second set of dog tags, the challenge coin from Stone. She wraps each item carefully, methodically. Everything has a place. She stands in the empty room, looks around. Bare walls, standard furniture, nothing personal. This place broke her. Then it rebuilt her. Not physically, but in the way that matters, the way that lasts. She leaves the key on the desk, walks out, doesn't look back. The Coronado mission waits. Stone watches from the tower as her truck pulls away. He's holding a file. On the cover, Operation Byzantine, final report. He opens it, reads the last page. Outcome, successful. Subject, Vaughn arrested. Intelligence leak sealed. Sentinel solutions under federal investigation. Estimated prevention of future casualties, 200 plus. Operator Wells recommended for intelligence star. Denied due to classification level. Operator Wells reassigned. Special Activities Division, Priority Mission Protocol. Status, active. Stone closes the file, locks it in his drawer. The key turns with a final click. Below, the range stretches empty. Targets stand silent. Lane 12 waits for the next shooter, but it won't be the same. He picks up his radio. Range Officer Wade, this is Stone. Add a note to Lane 12's log. What kind of note, Master Chief? Stone looks out at the range, at Lane 12, where Harper stood 6 months ago, limping, underestimated, alone, where she proved that strength isn't always loud. Reserved for legends, he says. That's all. He sets down the radio. The sun sets over the Pacific. Orange bleeds into purple. The range fades to shadow. Somewhere north, Harper's truck crosses into Coronado. The mission begins. Again. Always again. On her rifle stock, hidden beneath the foam padding, a new carving joins the old. Justice isn't loud. It's patient. She parks outside a corporate office building. Sentinel Solutions, West Coast Operations, 14 floors, 200 employees, 1 target. Security cameras everywhere. She counts 6 in the parking lot alone. She adjusts her blazer, straightens her contractor auditor badge. Fake, but perfect. Every detail checked twice. She walks inside, confident stride. No limp now. The injury is gone. The operator remains. The lobby is marble, cold, sterile. A receptionist looks up. Young, bored. Can I help you? Harper smiles. Professional, warm, disarming. I'm here for the quarterly compliance audit. Marcus Holt is expecting me. The receptionist checks her screen, frowns, scrolls. I don't see an appointment. Harper slides a forged email across the desk. Official letterhead, government seal, scheduled for today, 2 o'clock. Every detail perfect. She's had 3 days to prepare. The receptionist hesitates, reads it twice, then nods. 14th floor, suite 1401. Thank you. Harper takes the visitor badge, clips it to her blazer, turns toward the elevators. Harper steps into the elevator. The doors close. Brushed steel reflects her image. Professional, harmless. She presses 14. As the elevator rises, she pulls out her phone. A text waits. Holt confirmed in office. Window, 45 minutes. She deletes it. The message disappears like it never existed. The elevator dings. Doors open. She steps into a hallway. Plush carpet. Frame photos of military operations. None of them U.S. sanctioned. Private wars. Corporate conflicts. Blood for profit. She walks to suite 1401. Her heels make no sound on the carpet. Ghost walking. Knocks twice. Come in. She opens the door. Marcus Holt sits behind a desk. Gray hair, expensive suit, Rolex on his wrist. The smile of a man who's never been caught. Who believes he never will be. Miss Carter, Harper says. Auditor, compliance review. She steps inside, closes the door behind her. The lock clicks softly. Holt's smile doesn't waver, but his eyes narrow, calculating. I wasn't informed of any audit. Harper sets her briefcase on the desk, opens it. Inside, forged compliance documents, official forms, government stamps, and underneath, hidden in a false bottom, a recording device, CIA issued, voice activated, already running. It's a surprise audit, she says. Her voice is calm, routine. Standard procedure for firms with federal contracts. Holt leans back. His chair creaks, leather and power. I see. And what exactly are you auditing? Harper pulls out a folder, flips it open. Pages of regulations, violations, evidence collected over months. Your data security protocols, specifically how classified government information is handled. Holt's smile fades. The calculation in his eyes sharpens. Harper continues. There's been some concern about information leaks. We just want to make sure everything's in order. She looks up, meets his eyes. I'm sure you understand. Holt stands. I think you should leave. Harper doesn't move, doesn't blink. I think you should sit down, Mr. Holt, because if you don't cooperate, I'll have to file a non-compliance report, and federal contracts don't look kindly on those. She pauses, lets it sink in. Neither does the DOJ. Holt hesitates. His hand hovers near his desk phone. Then slowly, carefully, he sits. Harper smiles. This won't take long. Outside the window, 14 stories below, 3 black SUVs pull into the parking lot. FBI, NCIS, DOJ, doors open, agents step out, tactical gear under suit jackets. Inside suite 1401, Harper begins asking questions. Her voice is steady, professional, each question designed to elicit a response, each response recorded, archived, evidence. The recording device captures every word. Justice isn't loud, it's patient.